Japan doesn't announce its improvements. It doesn't hold press conferences for a better bag clip or file patents on the correct angle of a sauce packet. It simply looks at something ordinary, a taxi door, a yogurt lid, a bicycle, a road, and asks whether it's been finished properly. Usually, the answer is no. Then it finishes it. What follows are 24 ideas that came from that question. Some will change how you look at something you use every single day. Some will make you briefly angry that you've been doing things the harder way for decades. Stay until number 1. It's quieter than you'd expect, and that's entirely the point. Number 24. Underground automated bicycle parking. The machine that swallows your bike. In Japan's major cities, a cylindrical entry point sits flush with the pavement. You wheel your bicycle up to it, slot the front wheel into a guide rail, press a card to a sensor, and step back. The machine takes the bike. In under 13 seconds, it descends into an underground automated carousel, a circular storage system embedded beneath the street, holding up to 204 bicycles in a rotating drum, and vanishes. To retrieve it, you tap your card again. In under 13 seconds, your specific bicycle returns to street level. Not a similar one. Yours. This system, developed by Giken and called the Eco Cycle, was built to solve the surface congestion that comes with Japan's bicycle-heavy commuting culture.
And then press the green button. And then it goes down over there, and in about 40...
Number 23. Snow-melting roads, Japan's streets. That clear themselves, in Niigata Prefecture, one of the snowiest inhabited regions on Earth, roads do not need plowing or salting. They melt their own snow. Embedded beneath the road surface is a network of pipes through which groundwater is pumped continuously during winter. Groundwater in Japan sits at a stable temperature of roughly 12 to 15 degrees Celsius year-round, well above freezing. When it circulates through pipes beneath the asphalt, the surface stays just warm enough that falling snow melts on contact. No fleet of plow vehicles, no road salt corroding infrastructure and contaminating soil, no crews working through the night.
Find more recent data, but I know the system has grown since then. The system's preferred groundwater temperature.
Number 22. Enzyme baths, Japan's self-heating fermentation. Soaks. At traditional wellness facilities in Japan, particularly in Kyoto, you can submerge yourself up to the neck in a bath of cypress wood chips and rice bran with no heat source beneath it. The temperature inside reaches approximately 42 degrees Celsius. The heat is generated entirely by the fermentation of the bran, the same microbial process that generates warmth in a compost pile, precisely controlled by the facility's staff. The chips and bran pack around the body, applying gentle pressure while the fermentation heat penetrates evenly. The enzymes produced are understood to support circulation, skin condition, and muscle recovery. The sensory experience, warmth radiating from organic material rather than water, is consistently described as unlike anything else. Number 21. Automatic taxi doors, the door that opens before you reach for it. In Japanese taxis, virtually every one of them, the rear passenger door opens and closes automatically, operated by the driver via a lever near the steering column. You approach the curb, the door swings open, you step in. The driver closes it from the front. At no point in the transaction do you touch the door at all. Your hands are free on arrival. If you're carrying bags, a child, or an umbrella, you navigate none of it around a door handle. In rain, you lose no time wrestling with a latch while getting wet. The driver controls the one part of the experience that involves the vehicle's exterior, and the passenger experiences only the interior. Japan made this standard so early that Japanese taxi users have forgotten it's notable. Number 20. Square watermelons. Refrigeration solved by geometry. In the 1970s, a farmer in Kagawa Prefecture asked one question: why are watermelons round? The answer, because that's how they grow, led immediately to a second question: does it have to be? He built square wooden molds, placed developing fruit inside them early in the growth stage, and let the watermelon grow to fill the available space. The result: flat faces, right angles, a geometry that stacks and stores like any other box. A round watermelon cannot be stacked without supports. A square one stacks directly. A round watermelon rolls. A square one does not. A round watermelon occupies irregular refrigerator space. A square one fits into corners. The shape does not change the flavor. Number 19, Sampuru plastic food replicas. So accurate they replace the menu. Outside almost every restaurant in Japan, from ramen counters to department store dining floors, a display window shows the menu in 3 dimensions. Not photographs. Plastic replicas of every dish made to exact portion size, with accurate color, texture, surface sheen, and garnish, lit and arranged to show each item precisely as it will arrive at the table. These are Sampuru, sample food, and they are produced by skilled craftspeople. A single dish replica can take hours to complete. The ramen broth replicates the exact sheen of pork fat. The lettuce has correct translucency. The soft serve ice cream captures the precise curl.
Because of the detail in each food sample, artisans say it takes up to 10 years to perfect the craft. But don't be fooled.
Number 18, Inamuri. The country that decided sleeping at work signals. Dedication. In most professional cultures, falling asleep in a meeting marks you as disengaged or unprepared. In Japan, the practice, called inamuri, meaning sleeping while present, carries the opposite social reading. A person who falls asleep at their desk is understood to be exhausted by their commitment. The sleep is evidence of effort. Social rules apply. The sleep should be brief, the posture should suggest readiness to wake, head down on folded arms rather than sprawled across a chair. The person remains technically present and able to return to engagement quickly. Managers, in most contexts, do not wake the sleeping employee. What Japan formalized is an acknowledgement that humans have a sleep need that doesn't schedule itself conveniently around the workday, and that suppressing it entirely produces worse outcomes than accommodating it briefly. Number 17. Flavor release. Bottle caps, the lid that changes your drink. Certain Japanese beverage brands, particularly in the sports drink and supplement categories, sell bottles with a 2-chamber cap. The upper chamber contains a concentrated additive, a vitamin dose, an electrolyte blend, a flavor shot. The bottle holds plain water. When you're ready, press the cap down. The chamber releases its contents into the water. You shake. Your drink is now combined. The cap solves a chemistry problem most consumers never consider. Many active compounds degrade when stored in water over time. Vitamin C oxidizes. Flavor compounds lose intensity. The 2-chamber system keeps the additive separated until the moment of consumption. So, what you drink was combined 30 seconds before you drank it, not 3 months ago on the factory floor. Number 16. Rain chains, the drain pipe that became a garden feature. The standard drain pipe, a vertical tube fixed to the exterior wall, channeling roof runoff to the ground, performs its function without any other intent. It is functional. It is also, almost universally, an eyesore in the way utility objects become when designed without secondary consideration. The Japanese rain chain, kusari doi, replaces the pipe with a vertical chain or series of linked cups suspended from the gutter. Water clings to the chain through surface tension and flows downward, producing a cascading visual effect, either a quiet trickle or a sequence of connected waterfalls ending in a collection basin at ground level. The water management function is identical to the drain pipe. The visual and acoustic experience is entirely different. The rain chain converts rainfall into a garden feature. Number 15. Forest bathing. The medical treatment Japan found in the woods. In 1982, Japan's Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries coined the term Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. It means taking in the forest atmosphere, walking slowly through woodland, breathing, observing. No fitness target, no distance goal. Presence itself is the activity. Japan funded the science, Researchers measured cortisol levels, blood pressure, heart rate, and immune markers in participants who walked in forests versus urban environments. The results were consistent enough that Shinrin-yoku is now formally recognized as a medical practice, with certified forest therapy trails, trained guides, and medical referrals issued by physicians.
To medicines and expensive therapies to get relief from symptoms. Only a few spend time.
Number 14. Fitting room. Face covers, the cloth that protects clothes from makeup. Japanese clothing stores provide a thin fabric cover at the entrance to fitting rooms. When pulling a garment over your head to try it on, your face goes into the cover first. Lipstick, foundation, mascara, and concealer do not contact the neckline or collar. You try the garment on. You remove it. It is unmarked. The problem this solves is one every person who has tried on clothing in a store has contributed to: the transfer of makeup to a collar, staining a sample garment before anyone purchases it. The store absorbs the loss. The next customer receives a marked item. The solution requires 1 square of fabric and 2 seconds of additional behavior from the user. Number 13. Maternity badges, the mark that makes invisible needs. Visible. Early pregnancy is when nausea, fatigue, and physiological demands are most acute. It is also when the pregnancy is not yet visibly apparent. A woman in her 8th week looks identical to any other passenger on a crowded train. She cannot communicate her need for a seat without announcing her medical condition to strangers. Japan introduced the maternity mark, a small pink badge displaying a pregnant figure distributed through local government offices and prenatal clinics that a woman attaches to her bag. Train passengers who see it understand its meaning. A seat is offered. The badge converts a private medical condition into a legible social signal without requiring verbal disclosure. Number 12. Staple-free. Staplers, binding paper without the metal. The standard office stapler drives a metal fastener through stacked paper and leaves it there permanently. The result is a document that cannot be recycled, without first removing the metal. The removal is fiddly, easy to forget, and rarely done. Billions of stapled documents enter paper recycling streams every year with their staples still embedded. Japanese stationery manufacturer Kokuyo developed the Harinax staple-free stapler. It works by cutting a small tongue from the paper stack, folding the tongue through the cut, and using the paper itself as the binding mechanism. No metal, no extraction required. The document goes directly into recycling hole. The Harinax doesn't bind as many sheets as a standard stapler, which is why it hasn't replaced it entirely. For low-sheet documents, meeting notes, receipts, 2-page forms, it does everything a stapler does without inserting anything foreign into the paper.
Continuous. There you have it. Curious thing though, if you look at how many spots there are here, we can zoom in and count it.
Number 11. Non-stick yogurt lids, the lid that actually lets go. The standard yogurt lid has a failure mode so consistent it's generated its own cultural response. The peel that releases a spray of yogurt across your shirt, your hand, and anything nearby. The adhesive seal, the surface tension of the product underneath, and the pull angle combine to make the first centimeter of opening the highest risk moment of breakfast. Japanese food brands produce yogurt with lids treated with a non-stick interior coating, a smooth silicone-based film, so that the product releases from the foil cleanly on peeling. The yogurt does not adhere to the lid. The peel is clean. No spray. Number 10. Disposable gloves at petrol stations, fuel without the smell. At self-service petrol stations throughout Japan, a dispenser of thin, disposable plastic gloves sits beside every pump. You take a pair. You fill your tank. You dispose of the gloves in a bin on the island. Your hands have not contacted petrol or the pump handle. No fuel smell transfers to your car's interior. No residue lingers under your fingernails for the rest of the day. This is a problem every person who fills a car has experienced and solved inadequately. A tissue, an old receipt, trying to angle the grip. The Japanese solution is 1 pair of gloves per fill and a dispenser that replenishes them. Number 9. Premium convenience store sandwiches. The meal Japan found in a corner shop. The Japanese convenience store, konbini, is not a diminished retail experience. In chains like 7-Eleven Japan, Family Mart, and Lawson, the food program is developed by professional recipe teams, adjusted seasonally, and held to quality standards that would be unremarkable in a mid-range restaurant in most other countries. The sandwiches are the clearest evidence. The egg salad sandwich at Japanese 7-Elevens has achieved international cultural recognition, significant enough that overseas visitors specifically seek it out. The bread compresses and springs back. The egg filling is seasoned precisely. The ratio of filling to bread is calculated. The whole thing costs under $2 and is made fresh daily. Japan took a product category the rest of the world accepted at a low standard and applied genuine culinary effort to it. The result is a sandwich tourists write about. From a petrol station.
Today, something different. I'm trying the viral Japanese-style egg salad sandwich from 7-Eleven. In all my years of life, I've never once...
Number 8. Fully emptying sauce packets. The crease that wastes nothing. Single-serve condiment packets have a design failure universally accepted everywhere. The contents adhere to the interior walls and don't fully dispense. You empty what you can, and the rest stays behind. At national scale, this is a significant quantity of food that was manufactured, packaged, and transported but never consumed. Japanese condiment packaging, particularly from brands like Kewpie, incorporates interior crease lines pressed into the packet during manufacture. These creases direct contents toward the opening when pressure is applied, ensuring the full contents dispense in a single squeeze without residue. The packet empties completely. This is not a technological solution. It is a geometric one. Number 7. Roadside sandboxes for icy streets. Safety you serve yourself. In northern Japan, Hokkaido and other high snowfall regions, small weather-resistant containers sit mounted on posts at street corners and crossings, filled with sand and a scoop. When ice forms on the pavement, any passing person can take a scoop and apply it to the hazardous surface immediately. No council worker required, no phone call, no waiting. The infrastructure is present, accessible, and operable by any person at that spot at that moment. The community uses the resource and maintains the safety of the surface for whoever comes next. Number 6. Coin holder. Organizers. The wallet that knows what's in it. Japanese coin holders, a small spring-loaded organizer carried in the pocket or clipped to a wallet, sort coins by denomination into individual rows. To pay an exact amount, you see immediately which row you need, press the release, and the correct coin presents itself. You do not fish. The alternative is the standard coin pouch, all denominations together, retrieved by feel or sight while a queue forms behind you. The organizer eliminates that entirely. Visual inventory at a glance. Exact payment without delay. Japan's high cash culture meant coin management presented itself at sufficient frequency to generate a proper solution. Number 5. Bread bags that show how many slices are left. Japanese bread packaging from major bakery brands uses a transparent strip along the side of the bag, or printed count indicators on the exterior, letting you assess remaining slices before opening. You know how much bread is in the bag before you commit to using it. The problem is invisible in countries where it hasn't been solved. You take a bag from the cupboard, don't know if there are 2 slices or 7, open it, and find out only after the fact. The Japanese solution provides that information up front. You look, you decide, then you open or you don't. This matters most in meal planning, knowing before you start whether you have enough, whether a bakery trip is necessary. Number 4. Food packaging that must match the actual product. Japan has informally but powerfully enforced commercial norms around packaging accuracy. The product shown on the outside of a package must represent, with reasonable fidelity, the product inside. This is not purely regulatory. It is a cultural expectation with real commercial consequences when violated. The result: Japanese food packaging images are, by the standards of most other markets, extraordinarily accurate. The ramen on the box looks like the ramen you cook. The biscuit on the wrapper resembles the biscuit inside. The packaging is styled, but not constructed from a different quantity or quality of food than what's being sold. Number 3. High performance stain. Removers. Japan's laundry is a different category. Japan's laundry products are, without particular announcement, technically advanced beyond what most comparable markets sell. Products like Attack Zero from Cow Corporation use a dual-ingredient technology combining surfactants and enzymes to break down stains at a molecular level across a wider range of temperatures and fiber types than standard detergents achieve. The Japanese laundry market is intensely competitive, which drives formulation investment that doesn't exist elsewhere. The result is detergents that genuinely perform differently, removing dried protein stains, set pigment stains, and oil compounds in a single standard wash cycle without pre-treatment. Japan has better laundry detergent because the Japanese laundry market demanded better laundry. Detergent and the chemistry existed to supply it. The improvement was available all along. Most of the world hasn't been offered it because the market never required it to be developed. Number 2. The 7-minute miracle. Shinkansen cleaning crews. Between each Shinkansen journey, a crew called the Tessei boards the moment passengers disembark. In exactly 7 minutes, they clean and reset an entire 16-car train. Every seat rotated to face the direction of travel. Headrest covers replaced, floors vacuumed, windows wiped, tables cleaned, overhead racks checked, all rubbish removed. Then they line up on the platform, bow to the next group of waiting passengers, and depart. The following journey boards. The Tessei process has been studied by management researchers worldwide. It is a masterclass in coordinated choreography. Each crew member has a specific zone, a specific sequence, and a strict time limit, operating as one synchronized action. What the Shinkansen platform demonstrates is that cleanliness and speed are not in opposition if the process is designed correctly. 7 minutes, 16 cars, ready for 400 passengers. The bow at the end says something important about what Japan believes the work is worth. Number 1. Transparent rubbish bags, the system that made everyone responsible. In many Japanese municipalities, household rubbish must be placed in clear or semi-transparent bags before collection. The contents are visible to the collection crew, to neighbors, and to anyone who observes the bag at the collection point. The visibility creates accountability without active surveillance. There is no inspector, no spot fine, no audit process. There is simply the fact that your rubbish is visible, your neighbor can see whether you sorted it correctly, and the collection crew can reject an incorrectly sorted bag at pickup. That social norm produces recycling compliance rates among the highest recorded anywhere in the world. The transparent bag is the least spectacular item on this list. It is a bag, made of different material than an opaque bag, at no additional cost, requiring no additional behavior beyond correct sorting. It changes behavior at scale because it changed one physical property of an object everyone was already using. Japan's waste sorting compliance is not driven by education campaigns or enforcement budgets. It is driven by a bag you can see through. The insight that visibility changes behavior more reliably than regulation applies to considerably more than rubbish collection. Japan found it in the bin bag. That is either very humble or very profound. And everything on this list should tell you which one Japan usually turns out to be. None of these ideas required a breakthrough. Most required a question. Does this need to be this shape? Does this have to touch my face? Does this lid need to spray yogurt at me every morning? The answers were nearly always no. And then Japan built the version that doesn't. That's the system it keeps beating. Not with technology, with attention. If this list made you look at something in your kitchen, your bathroom, or your commute, and quietly ask whether it was actually finished, that's the idea working. Leave the thing you're reconsidering in the comments. We'll be back with more from the country that, without fuss and without announcement, still hasn't stopped improving things. like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.